Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you exist on this earth today. So this video today is just going to kind of be like a let's chat, like halfway through pregnancy, 20-week pregnancy update kind of video. Because I haven't really talked much about like the whole experience up until this point. Like I've posted on my Instagram a few times just about like how many weeks I am and like and announcing the pregnancy and whatnot. But I haven't really like sat down and like talked about and like shared my experiences with this pregnancy and just like pregnancy thus far with a toddler and making decisions on how my care is going to look for this pregnancy and just symptoms and everything that is involved with this. So I'll just start at the beginning. I found out mid-October and I found out very early. I actually found out I was trying to have a baby and I was testing and I found out 8 days past the day that I suspect that I ovulated. So that's not very common. It's quite early. And I was like, whoa, this is like, it was a faint line. It was definitely a faint line. It wasn't a big fat positive, but it was a faint line 8 days past my ovulation. And I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like excited, but I wasn't sure. I'm like, this is a bit early, let me wait. And then they say to wait, I think 48 hours, I think they say to wait, because your HCG levels will raise within 48 hours. They say to wait 48 hours, but I couldn't, and I tested the next day. But it was at nighttime. I was gonna wait the 48 hours, but I was like, I can't. And I was like very anxious to tell Dre. And so I tested again, and the line was darker. And I was like, it's not supposed to be darker yet, like maybe a little bit, but it was like a big fat positive at this point. Like it went from like barely being seen to being like, okay, we're growing. And I was so excited, and I told Dre, and he was like, oh yeah, he's very unexpressive. But so yeah, I found out, and I immediately went into planning mode because that's just how I am. Well, I guess with this baby I was trying, and since I was like literally like not even barely pregnant, like the baby had barely, like, I mean, I guess I can't say barely because to be producing HCG, the egg has to be implanted into your uterine wall. So I don't want to say barely implanted, but it was during implantation. And also, for my girlies out there who are trying to conceive, I felt the implantation, like I knew it was happening. I think it was 2 days after, I can't remember exactly, but I think that it was like 2 days after suspected ovulation that I started feeling pains and like tightness and like things like that in my pelvic area. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Whatever, just shrugged it off. And of course I was like watching for spotting and everything. The spotting never came, but I was having those tight pulls and stuff in my pelvic area during implantation. I was like, that's not normal for me, but we'll see what comes of it. And what came of it was a baby. So yeah, fast forward. After finding out, I tried to stay level-headed and not like start planning and start worrying myself as well, because I feel like that's a very common thing in early pregnancy. Like you want to call the doctor and you want to get an appointment, you want to get an ultrasound and make sure the baby's okay and everything's okay and your HCG is rising, or at least you'll see that on like the pregnancy apps and stuff. But I just went with the flow. I was eating, I looked up like, because I was we've been trying for a couple months, and hadn't seen anything, of course. And so I looked up, like, so then I was like, what is happening? Why can't I just want to have a baby. Let's come on. And I was looking up things like, do I have low progesterone? Like, is my B12, like, is something off? It wasn't, but I didn't get it checked. I just know it wasn't. I was just freaking myself out. But I did look up, like, I was eating a lot of vitamin C because that's supposedly that helps with your progesterone levels, and that's what you need to keep to for your babies to stick, is progesterone. Progesterone is a huge hormone in pregnancy. I can't tell you exactly what it does, but yeah. So yeah, I was eating a lot of vitamin C. I was like really focusing on like my health and just drinking enough water and taking my vitamins and just being a very healthy girl. So I finally like got past the point of like, okay, this baby, it's like we're 5 weeks now, the baby's like sticking. We're still like not in the clear, but we're good. And then around 5 weeks, nausea hit me very bad. I was actually super surprised because with Indigo, my first son, I didn't get anything. Like, that pregnancy was like a dream pregnancy. There was like minuscule symptoms, and even like in the beginning, like no throwing up, no anything. But with this pregnancy, like 5 weeks, I started getting a lot of nausea. Like, if like I wake up in the middle of the night and have to like scarf down some chips really fast because I felt like I was gonna, like, I never did throw up, but it was rough for like 3 weeks, and I would have to eat like every couple hours to like keep it at bay and stuff. But it wasn't, and I know that that's just like, that could be minuscule compared to some other women's experiences in pregnancy. But yeah, I had some nausea from like 5 to like mid 7 weeks. But that was pretty much it. Like, I didn't experience much like cramping or anything like that. And then once I got to 8 weeks, I felt, actually probably more like around 6 or 7 weeks, I was like bloating. Like, I'm gonna need to get some maternity pants because this is like, I'm bloating out of this world. And yeah, I was so bloated early on, but it went away, and then it became a bump, of course. Yeah, so then I finally got to 12 weeks, and I was so excited to be leaving. Maybe it's 14 weeks that you leave the first trimester. I don't know. I was so excited to be getting out of the first trimester and getting into the second trimester, just because, and again, with like the worrying and anxiety around pregnancy, like getting past the first trimester reduces the risk of an early labor, for you. Like getting out of the first trimester is a very good sign. And to this point, I haven't had any like care. My very first appointment with a midwife was, I think, when I was almost 13 weeks, and that went okay. It was just decent. I feel like since the very beginning of this pregnancy, I've really been trying to distance myself from like the medical system, like the medical model for birthing. And we can get into that in another video because that's a whole thing in and of itself for me. But yeah, so I went to the appointment because my partner felt better if we at least established some care in the beginning. I felt perfectly fine just having a wild and free pregnancy, but I wanted him to be comfortable as well and be excited. And we heard the heartbeat, and it was nice. It was okay. We'll just say okay for now. So I had my first appointment, and it went decent. And then it's been pretty much smooth sailing ever since. Like, I think actually probably around 18 weeks, I feel like I've started showing like a lot faster with this second pregnancy. And you do. That's like very, very common. But I feel like I'm like huge. I feel like I'm like I feel like I look like I'm like 30 weeks when I'm only about to be 20 weeks. So that was, it's kind of odd to be, I feel like a lot of the like discomforts that I got in the third trimester with indigo um are coming quicker with this baby. Like they're not, I wouldn't say they're symptoms, and I wouldn't say that they're like, they're not detrimental to my day or to my mentality or anything. It's just, you know, discomfort. I think the biggest thing starting around like 18 weeks is just like getting out of bed, and like actually my appetite yeah, we'll stay here for a moment. My brain's all over the place. Getting out of bed, like getting in and out of bed. What is going on? My bump has been like, you're not supposed to like sit straight up. So I've been like having to roll on my side and like push myself up, and that's just been an annoyance. Like it's not even, it's like it's I wouldn't even say it's a discomfort because I'm not hurting, but it's an annoyance. It's so annoying to have to get in and out of bed, and like all you want to do is lay down anyways. Oh, and we told all of our family around 14 weeks on Christmas Day, and it was very cool. It was we knew that we like had some suspicion that some people wouldn't be as excited because we are young, but most of our family is so elated and just so excited for another baby, because who wouldn't be? It's a baby, like it's the best thing in the world. So we are so excited, like everyone's so excited, all of our family's so excited, like this is the best Christmas gift. And like we did like a little surprise, and Indigo like opened a gift, and it was the shirt that said Big Brother. So it was, you know, cute and simple. It's cute, simple, short, and everyone was excited. And that's how we told our family. And then I think a few weeks after that is when I finally decided to post about it on Instagram, because I just wanted to start documenting it more so than just like taking week to week pictures. So shared it on Instagram. I'm so excited either way, but it just feels good for people to be excited with you. So I want to start getting into what pregnancy so far has been like for me with a toddler, with Indigo. I want to say that it's been pretty easy, pretty smooth, but at the same time, I think more so difficult for me because I feel like get mom guilt about certain things. Like I feel like like he doesn't truly understand it yet. Like he understands, like he knows that there's a baby in my belly, and he'll rub it and he'll kiss it, and he's like, your belly's big, and like but he doesn't understand the full scope of it all, of course, because he's 3. And he expects of course he expects me to be able to just go like I used to, and I can't because I'm tired. So I feel like there's a lot of mom guilt for me around just not being able to do everything that I was able to do before with him. But at the same time, it is winter here, and like we can't go outside and play because we could go outside and play, but it's like too cold, and I don't want to risk slipping on ice and falling and hurting myself or the baby. And he is very into like catching bugs and seeing toads and like planting different plants and stuff, and we can't do that in the winter. Like there's not much we can do in the winter. So I feel like once spring comes, I'll be a lot more, I think I'll be out of this state of mom guilt, because we can go outside, we can play, we can take walks, and I'll feel good taking walks, getting myself ready for labor, and like just breathing oxygen again and feeling the sunshine. I feel like all I need is a little sunshine and I'm good to go. We're good. But yeah, and I think that a big thing also has been just like, I feel like going into the new year, New Year's resolution or whatever you want to say, intentions for the new year, I think is what holds best with me. I really wanted to get Indigo like less and less screen time to the point where he's not even asking for it. But with it being winter, it's just so winter, and also being pregnant, it's just so difficult to keep up because we're inside all day anyways. And it's like, you know, and if you've literally seen a toddler, you know that they're just like back to back to back, wanting to do things, wanting to experience things. They're so curious, and that's completely expected. I think that's what I mean. That's completely expected because they're experiencing this amazing world for the first time. So of course they are just like all over the place. They have highs and lows a million times a day. And it's the most amazing thing, but it's also very difficult when you can't go outside, when you have to stay inside. And I don't shame anybody who does screen time with their kids, because of course I do it too, but I just want to limit it as much as possible and be having actual experiences more so than him learning the ABCs from like a video on YouTube. I'd rather be like sitting with him, like trying to teach him, like going through flashcards, like drawing pictures of animals that start with A and stuff like that. Like I'd really rather be having an experience more so than just sitting in front of the screen. So I think that's been like really difficult on me, is just the like mom guilt part of it. But I really think and believe that like once we like a month from now, when we can go outside steadily, that'll go away. We'll be all good. Well, it's just the winter's great. You know, winter's great. But I'm not a cold person. We can't play outside. There's not much we can do. He's not interested in just, I don't know. He's just not interested in winter activities outside. So yeah, I think once the sunshine comes back, we'll be good to go with that. And it'll be a much better pregnancy experience. But I'll also be in my 3rd trimester then as well. Almost in my 3rd trimester. And that with that brings along its own struggles and things. So we'll just have to see. Up until this point though, it's been really good. I'm gonna stop talking because the garbage truck is here and I know that it's gonna cause a lot of noise. So be back in 1 minute. Okay. The garbage truck just went up the street, so you may still hear it just a little bit, but yeah, so far so good. Halfway there. Gonna see this baby very soon. Oh, also I do have an ultrasound scheduled. It's gonna be coming up, and I'm really excited to see the baby, make sure everything's good. I did so I'll go into this a little bit, and we can do another video for this as well. If anybody's interested, just let me know in the comments below. That sounded so stupid to say. I am opting for as minimal medical involvement in this pregnancy as much as like possible, because that's just what has felt the best and really been a strong feeling since I've been pregnant, and even before I've been pregnant. Just with my experiences with the medical system pertaining to pregnancy and birth, I just really want to stay clear as much as I can. And you know, it's not that way for every woman. but I feel like in the ways that I've educated myself on birth and just pregnancy and those kind of this whole season of motherhood, I feel like I really have to hold my power, because I feel like when you're pregnant and you're just not informed and you don't really know, like you're just googling everything, like just seeing like what are my symptoms, or like you're just reading your app every day, it's very easy to become anxious and afraid and scared and just really willing to give up your power because you feel as though you don't know and can't handle it, or you feel like what you do know, what you do know about pregnancy is enough to give your power up to someone else. And I don't want to be in that state. I really want to be, and I myself, I did this. We'll get into Indigo's birth story another time, but this pregnancy, this birth, I don't want to give my power to someone else. I don't want someone else to hold the power of how I'll birth, when I'll birth, scare me into things that I don't want, that I really truly don't want, or things that are not evidence-based for my care. So I am really trying to stay as minimally medical as possible. We are doing one ultrasound because I think I'm planning a home birth. I'm planning to do a home birth. I'm doing the anatomy ultrasound just to make sure that everything is okay with the baby. I'm just covering the bases that feel right for me to cover. That's really the biggest thing, is that I don't want to put my sacred wisdom of my ancestors and women that came before me into the power of someone else when I know I have it within me to do this, to birth this baby, to really like capture that as well. Like this whole pregnancy, I've been really being intentional on holding myself and being present in my body and just really being intuitive and just paying a lot of attention. I've always paid a lot of attention to my body, but especially now that I'm pregnant, just paying a lot of attention to my body. And of course, if something was to go wrong, or there was to be something that concerns me that's happening with the baby or myself, of course I would go to the hospital, because the hospital is for emergencies and for when you think something might be wrong. But I'm not gonna put myself in the place for someone to tell me that something's wrong when I intuitively know that me and my baby are okay. And that might not make sense to everyone, but the girls that get it, get it. See, I think I'm gonna stop there on this video. Maybe I'll go into Indigo's like birth story for the next video, and that kind of will explain some of the choices that I'm making pertaining to my birthing choices and the choices to keep medical intervention at the absolute least it can be. I will show you my bump really quick. My halfway through 20-week bump with this baby. It's actually very, very surreal. We're already at 20 weeks because it feels like it was only like a month and a half ago that we told our family, and we just brought the world into this. Yeah, it just feels very surreal for this to already be 20 weeks, already be halfway through. And I'm so super excited for what the rest of this pregnancy has to bring. I'm so excited to meet this baby. So excited to see Indigo as a big brother. There's just so many amazing things that are to come. All right, here's the bump. Let me stop talking. This is the 20-week bump. I feel like I'm so big. Like I feel like with Indy, I was just so tiny, just like up until I gave birth. Like I popped, but this baby is here now, just ready for it. I love being pregnant. This is great. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.